good evening. Good evening. I am so glad to be back. We're working on we are on our third season. And I have a very special guest. She's really close to my heart, and she's a powerful, very humble, but a powerful woman that doesn't have to say a lot. She proves who she is. So we got a lot of new guests coming on. I'm really excited. And um, this is our third season. I cannot believe this. We've done two seasons. Now we're on our third. I know people what made me really push. People were kept calling. When are you getting back on? What's going on? Now, I haven't even been on Facebook. That's how tired that I have been and what God is doing. But I want to say this evening, good evening. Thank you to my program. Now, this is my show, honey. Y'all know. Thank you for being with me. Real Talk with Lequita Taylor now. So we're gonna get started. I'm just excited. I mean, I want you guys to like, subscribe, share. We're coming to do some things. We're gonna be doing a lot. I told you right now we were on the gravel. Me and my producers and I. But in a little bit we'll be on the blacktop. And then after the blacktop, it'll go a little bit higher. But I've learned in life sometimes things don't come quickly. Sometimes you have to crawl before you can stand to walk. So if you just be patient and put God first, how he'll work it out. When I think about where we've came with this and to know we're on our third year, it means a lot. God has been good. So we're going to talk about some things. I'm excited about this woman. And you all make comments, just is something that, that helps me. And I can go back and let's talk. Real talk. Y'all know how I am. Real people, real talk. So we're going to get started. And again, I thank God for Paul. I thank God for Ashley and trying to get a few more people because we're growing. So we just appreciate it. All right. Let me say a little bit about my guest. And then I'm going to let her take the mic and let her talk, and no one can tell your story like you can. The young lady that I have on this evening, she grew up in a two-parent household. Her mom is her mom and grandmother. She is the oldest of three siblings, a brother Kevin and a sister Casey. She left Dayton, coming from Dayton, to attend college in Los Angeles, California. She majored in electrical engineering. Girl, I probably would have shocked everybody and plugged up something that was wrong, and everybody got cooked. But she is a powerful woman, and I don't want to go too much further. I'm going to expound on some things. I'm going to ask her some questions, and we're just going to have a good evening on tonight. The young lady that I have, a very anointed woman of God, a woman who loves the Lord and has just poured out in this community, and is Mrs. Carla Ladd. Good evening, my sweetie. I'm so glad you're on with me and sharing. You got a lot. You're always pouring out and doing things to just grow more in the community. So tell them a little bit about you.
Well, first, let me thank you for having me on. I know you've had some really distinguished guests, so I'm honored to have been asked to be on. I feel like I'm on the lower rung of the folks that you've had. But I appreciate you, and congratulations on 3 seasons.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
amazing.
You.
And I'm excited for what God is doing in your ministry.
Thank you, Carla. I appreciate you. Thank you. So
tell
tell the people a little bit about you, and I'm going to ask you some questions, but just, I started, but 10 years of relocating, kind of tell a little bit, and then we'll go further.
Well, yeah, I came from Dayton, Ohio, so I couldn't wait to leave Dayton, Ohio. It's a great place to be from, but I never saw myself staying there. So I went to California, went to school, graduated with my degree, and then I stayed with Lockheed Martin. They actually it was Hughes Aircraft Company that hired me this summer of my freshman year. Going into my sophomore year, and so they hired me, and a good old Jewish white man was my supervisor. He was my manager, and he asked me to come off of scholarship so that he could hire me part-time.
Man.
Yeah, so he hired me with enough hours so that Hughes Aircraft Company would reimburse me for school. So I really didn't come out of school with any student loan debt or anything.
That's
like
God. You hear me?
Isn't it?
That is God right there.
White man took took me to, and he kind of mentored me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I learned a lot from him. And that's, I always say, you know, you don't know who you're going to learn
No.
something from or who's going to
No.
bless you. And so you always treat people right, regardless. So his name was Izzy. I'll never forget Izzy. And I thank God for Izzy.
Is
So
he still alive?
no, he's not. He
Oh,
would be
okay.
in his, well into his 90s
Okay.
if he was still
Okay.
living.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he would
Okay.
be. So.
So, yeah, I need to say this. So, you lived in Los Angeles for 10 years before relocating to Colorado, where she took a systems engineering position, which was with Martin Lackey. Was that hard? I mean, just starting out, when you're first starting out, and that's a strong, uh, that's a strong degree when you're talking about engineering.
Mm-hmm.
When you were young and you graduated and you had your mentor and everything, was it difficult learning the things that you have to do with engineering? You know?
Well, technically, it wasn't. It was that wasn't the hard part. It was learning to be in the room when you're the only one, right? Like I was the only Black person. Sometimes I was the only Black female.
Mhm.
Sometime, and so people have a tendency to kind of talk over you, try
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
And so always having to stand up for myself in that way was problematic for me because I
Okay.
don't, you know, I say what I have to, not just say things to be seen and heard. That's not me. And so, but that's how they were. You know, we'd have systems engineering, we'd have planning meetings, and these guys would just talk to be heard. And I'm sitting there like, Lord, when you going to deliver me from this?
Mhm. Mhm.
I was tired of it just because, but that's how they knew how to climb the ladder that way. That's
Man,
probably
okay.
why I
Okay.
didn't do well with that because one, I wasn't going to play with, I don't play like by those rules. I don't
Mhm.
do that. And then secondly, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay.
You know, my
Okay.
dad was an entrepreneur. My grandmother was an entrepreneur. My auntie
Okay.
was an entrepreneur. And so that's what I grew up seeing, people doing their own thing and having their own
Mhm.
businesses. And so I've always had that bent. I always knew. I told my mom when I was 18, I told her I won't be working for anybody else when I turned 40. By the
Mm.
time I'm 40, I'll be working for Carla. And I
Man.
didn't remember that till she brought it to my attention.
Boy, you never know.
No.
Now, you were from Ohio, and
Mhm.
how did you end up? I mean, you went to LA, you lived, did different things. What made you come to Colorado? What made you come here?
Well, I was dating a guy that had moved here to go to
Mm-hmm.
college, go to grad school. And so I had been visiting. And the last time I came, I was working in Santa Barbara for
Mm-hmm.
Lockheed. So
Mm-hmm.
they had put me on, you know, I was there for a whole year and I refused to go back to LA. You don't want to go back to LA after living in Santa Barbara for a year. So I started looking, and during one of those visits, I took an interview with a guy from Lockheed Martin, and they
Okay.
hired me on the spot.
Boy, see,
Yeah.
you never know. You never know where an angel and God is, He plans that we don't even know about.
Right.
And just to hear your testimony of how someone was there, I mean, what He did to help you and the different people that you met. And God, you just have a calling for it,
Yeah.
just truly. And you're just such a sweetheart. I love that about you. Um, Let me ask you this. How did you get, okay, you did engineering, you do a lot of things. What made you get into starting your business of the Denver Black Pages?
Hmm.
That is powerful. You do with all the businesses you have asked, and I know starting from the beginning, just like me with this. Was it hard getting people to advertise for you? Was it hard hearing what you were
Still
trying to
is.
say and and haters, you got all them. But how was it when you first started?
Well, so I'll tell you why I started it first. You know, they say necessity is the mother of invention.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got here, and you know, it was a little while before I felt like, wow, I need community. I hadn't found my tribe. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of us around here
Mm-hmm.
except at church. And at that point, I hadn't found a church home. But I was listening to the radio, and there was an event or a concert or something that I wanted to go to, or maybe something at the theater, but it was like the next day,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And I'm like, so how do people know what's going on in this community, first of all. So that's how Denver Black Pages really got started. It was really
Okay.
just for the calendar piece. But it took off with the business part because people, there's always there were print publications, but there wasn't anything online. So that's where DenverBlackPages.com came from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the hard part was, it's kind of it can be cliquish here, right? And
Can be. Not terribly. Go on.
but somehow I went to an event and I met David Thompson.
Okay.
And David Thompson, and some told me, ask him to be on your advisory committee. And I did. And he accepted. And he is the one that made the introductions for me.
Okay.
So with corporate sponsors, with, the people, he said, these are the people you need to know, and I'm going to introduce you to them.
Man.
And so that's the way we
It
have
just
to do
all
it
fell
with
in
each
line.
other.
Not what you know, but who you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boy, but I mean, it's amazing. And you've had different things. We took the 70s pic. It was now the 50s. I was wrapped up in some feathers, and Michael acted like he playing piano. He can't play nothing. And so it was just, but the creativity of what we did, it was so much fun. And so I have that book that we had. And so the different unique things and you're visionary too.
Yeah.
You're one, yeah. You'll see things and it's like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and you're daredevil. We had to set.
I am a daredevil.
You are, and we had it at this one restaurant. All the 70s, we was all in afros. I got some of those pictures, and it was fun, And what you do, you make it fun. It's just not let's do the 70s. Let's talk and talk about Soul Train and different things. It's a relaxing form that you do, even with your banquets. Right. I remember you brought Dorinda Clark, and that you when it comes to that, you're just powerful at what you do. You don't have step, and that's how I am. It has to be right. It's not going to happen. Right. And so I've acknowledged you. I've watched you, beautiful woman of God, very humble, but because of your love for your compassion to run your own, which you knew long time ago. And because of that, you're a perfectionist. And I think ain't nothing wrong with you are. We try, girl. Sometimes I be trying.
I don't strive for perfection. I strive for excellence.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because Jesus was the only perfect
one. Oh, well, come on in. Bring the word. That's nothing. She got the word. Excuse me. I'm going to change mine. No, I can't do that in funeral business. I go for perfection, child.
Yeah,
we got to make it. We got to make it work. So I love that about you. So tell me this. You and your mother, you're very, very close to your mom. She's a beautiful lady. Oh, yeah, some people come from beautiful families,
Thank you.
Yeah, and then some people, anyway. So you're really close to your mom. And tell me about being with siblings and everything. Are you, I won't say the favorite, but are you the one that just kind of, you're right there for mama no matter what?
Yeah, I'm really protective of her.
Okay.
Always have been, even through, she was 18 when she had me. So we kind of grew up in the house. Okay. And seeing some of the things that she went through, I'm one of those, I learn from others' mistakes. Things that I see you do and bump your head on, I don't have to do that. Now, not that I'm not going to make mistakes, but I don't have to do that. And so I would see things, and my grandmother and I were really close, and she was that one with brass knuckles and a twin.
Oh, yeah.
That was her. My mom, complete opposite. So, she was really kind-hearted, and, she would kind of let people run over, and I'm like, I'm the protector now, so I don't allow that, and that's caused some strain with some family members sometimes, but I think we're all coming around to, we're all maturing enough where we don't play those kinds of games, especially with her now that she's the matriarch of the family.
Yeah, and just recently she lost her husband, correct? Yeah, and they were so close. How long were they married?
40, they were together 40 years, 33 years married. They just had a 34th anniversary.
Man.
Yeah, I introduced them. I was so excited about
how'd that go about?
So I went to high school with his daughter.
Okay.
And we were seniors. We were debutantes together. And so one day I went to her house, and her dad just happened to be there. That was one of the few times I had ever seen her
Okay.
dad.
Okay.
And I just thought he was the coolest man. He didn't move fast. He was, one of those, he's just real cool, right? And I said, you should meet my mom. And he was like, I'd love to meet your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And mom, when she met us, so they met at the debutante ball.
Okay.
Right? So that was no pressure for anybody. And she said, I said, what you think about Mr. Black? And she said, he's kind of short. I said, you're not going to marry. I'm not asking you to marry, man. Just go on a date and see. And the rest is history.
Man.
They were together that long.
And you always taught your mom and your stepdad, but he wasn't stepdad. But
He
he just, when you have them like that, whether you're a family, bonus family, however, and you always talked about him. So
yeah, my dad died so young that, I was
How
in
old was
early
he?
20s when my dad died. So
Okay.
Sam was really all I knew
Right
as a
there.
father, as an adult anyway. I knew my dad growing up, but
Now I gotta talk about your husband. First of all, you need to tell me how you all met. He is so funny. He's a mess. His name is Marin. He deals with a lot of clothes designing, and you guys you guys tickle me. So tell me when you met and how long you all have been married and how's it working far as wise as tag teaming. You do this, and he's right there. Anything you do, he may sit.
He is.
He's right there, child. He may be fussing about something ain't right. And Marin's a trip.
He is
But
that.
yeah,
He
but
is that.
you
But
guys
we have
work
a
together.
we're a team. We
Good.
really are. And we met 2 months after I got here, right? I got here no, actually a month after. I got here September. I met him in October, and then the following November we were married. And so he really wasn't my type, but something about him, like he has a Southern accent, real thick. And when I met him, I was like, And I told my mom, so she was like, well, so that's no reason to discount him because he, has an accent. And then his hair was thinning, right, before he totally cut it off. And I told my auntie that, oh, we can grow hair. That's nothing. So they were really pushing for him, especially once they met him, because he really is a sweetheart. He knows how to charm the older ladies.
You know that. Like Michael Taylor. But tell me, we were just talking, Marion likes to crack jokes and say things, but I was telling Marion earlier her voice. She has a very unique voice. Some people have high pitch, some people low pitch, however. Adrian, my secretary, she has a low voice. Sometimes they'll say, excuse me, sir. And she'll say, I'm not a sir. They say, well, I'm sorry. But your voice, it has it's a very sexy voice because you talk very articulate and that's who you are. And with that, what did Marion say crazy to you about your voice?
Well, I've never considered my voice sexy. I've had some people say that, but I've never considered it sexy. What he told me was, he said, if I had been talking to you on the phone without seeing you, I would have thought you were some dark-skinned fat woman. And I don't know what dark skin had to do with it, but okay, I sound like a fat
shaming
woman.
himself. Yeah, but
And see, and he wasn't, speaking of that, he wasn't dark enough for me.
Really?
That's why I say he almost didn't make the cut.
Because you like him real dark.
I like him real dark.
See, growing up, my grandmother, they was color struck. Because my grandma told me, she said, listen, let me tell you something. Because, I'm brown skinned. He said, don't be getting up. It's sad, but I got y'all real talk. She said, don't be getting nobody darker than you because, them babies come out real dark and they out of style now. And I'm like, out of style, they ain't even, but see, that's the thinking. When you think about people and what they've been through and back in the country, my family came from Louisiana. Oh, if you was a big old yellow, oh, look at that baby.
See.
Let you be a chocolate, oh, come on,
never
precious.
Did it for me.
Yeah,
never did it for me.
And so everyone has, some people are color struck. Some people, I ain't never want to be like you, like. Child, give me chocolate all day long, baby. Because I'm proud of who God has made me. So it's just so much when you look back and think about different things. But what I wanted to say to you, what was your first big, not even with Denver Black Pages, your first big event? What was that?
That was the Success Summit and Expo back in 2005 when we
Okay.
were, I started the nonprofit Mountain Region Black Economic Summit.
Mhm.
And that's what, so this advisory board that David was a part of, they pushed me into that
Mhm.
because I was perfectly content staying behind the computer doing Denver Black
Mhm.
Ages. And they were like, well, people need to know who you are. You could be some, white woman or white man
Mhm.
running this, and they need to know and they need to see you. And so we started doing networking events called Strictly Biz. And they weren't like a First Fridays or a meetup or anything like that. These were business events where we talked, straight up business.
Mhm.
We taught people about marketing. We had different classes during these, and it
Mhm.
was true networking. So from there, the advisory board said, okay, so now what? You had to do something more impactful for community. And that's where the summit was born out of that.
Okay. Okay. Was
Yeah.
that hard? It's kind of anything starting is sometimes difficult, but some things are more difficult than others.
It was
Dealing.
hard.
Yeah.
It was hard
Mm.
because I anticipated those. I tried to partner with people or
Okay.
organizations here
Okay.
that, some organizations, if they don't birth it or if it's
Mhm.
not their idea, they're not going to support it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can't afford that here. And so it didn't matter to me. Okay, I gave you the
Mhm.
opportunity.
Mhm.
We're going to go forth and do good things anyway.
Okay.
And so and then 10 years down the road, they come to me and say, well, why don't you bring that under our umbrella? And it's like, well, why would I do that at this point?
When you could have came a long time ago.
Right.
Now you're ready because I've
Well, now I've
established it.
established it. And so
Mhm.
what's the point in bringing it under you? But I maybe he was joking. I don't know.
Yeah. They be acting like they joking. I done learned, huh?
No, he was dead serious. If I had said, sure, we'd be under their umbrella right now.
Hmm.
So, mm-mm.
That's something. So, in your business of what you're doing, have you had a lot of people, I won't say sabotage, but people in your life that you started out, and as time goes on, you're counting on them and you begin to see this is not right. See, God will give you a discerning spirit.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell you, have people that say, okay, yeah, Carla, I got you, and we can do this. And after a while, and you keep talking, no, no, no. They don't really mean that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know with you being, because you had the Mahunga things. I won't even say shows, child. Your dinners and banquets, and it takes it another level.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so proud of you when I see that. I say, how is this woman doing this?
A
But
lot of
because of,
support.
yeah, yeah, it has to be. So how did you wind up where people don't want to support? What made them say, I'm going to help Carla? Even people that maybe didn't know you, but they watched your style. What made them turn to want to help you?
Well, I think that's it. I think they saw how I move, right?
Mhm.
That I'm pretty much no nonsense when it comes
Mhm.
to my business,
Mhm.
right? Or doing for a community. I don't want to put a product out there that we wouldn't be proud of,
Okay.
that I wouldn't be proud of. And so I think that's what people see. People have a tendency to kind of watch and wait,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
like, let's see if she's going to fail first. And I think that a lot of that came after they saw that I was doing this. I lost money on the first few summits,
Mhm.
but I was working, so it didn't
Mhm.
impact me like
Mhm.
it would now. Where would I get the money now if I had to lose
Mhm.
money? But before I was working and I was able to do it the way I wanted to because I had the resources to do it
Okay.
regardless if I got the corporate support or the community support. And so once they saw that the finished product, then that's when people started like, oh, okay, she knows what she's doing. She's serious about this. Let me see how I can help. And that's what happened for the
Now
most
the
part.
corporate level, is that very hard to get them to do they have to watch you for some time before they believe in you?
Sometimes because they want to put money or resources behind people or companies or organizations with sustainability.
Mhm.
And so you have to show that, right? And that makes sense to me.
Mhm.
Like, why would you put money after something that's just going to be around, just been around a year and may not be here next year? So they do typically 3 to 5 years they're looking for an organization or a business to have been established for that long.
Do you plan to continue the Denver Black Pages for a long time? Because it's really, I mean, I keep them. I can't keep them in my funeral home because it really represents companies.
Yeah.
It's very informative, and that alone stands out. How long do you think you will continue?
Until the Lord tells me
Okay.
it's time to do something else. I would like to see it continue even without me. And that's been my goal all along, is to separate Carla from the Denver Black Pages or the Little Black Book so that they live on after I leave it, or either I die or I walk away from it. So that's a lot of the problem with some of our businesses, is that succession planning, right? There's nobody. Like now I'm kind of grooming someone to take over the summit stuff. I'm kind of, so that if I need to, I can just do Denver Black Pages. I don't have to be, I'm physically okay, but I don't have to be, out and about like I do for the summit. So yeah, I think succession planning is going to be key. And I do plan on, eventually, what do I look like 90 years old doing Denver? I need to turn that up.
Let me try to.
Child, look.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. So tell me, in your experience of what you've done in creating magazines and what you've done, what is one or two of one of your most difficult situations that you've had to deal with in business with Denver Black Pages, and even with you had the summit that you had? What was two, if you think back, two of the most difficult things where you may say, "Why am I doing this?"
I say that every year, actually.
Really? Really?
Just because I have to get up for it, right? Like, because I know the work that is involved. Before I was, young and dumb, and
You wasn't done.
yeah, I had the energy at least. Now it takes a little more to kind of get my mind set for, doing this, getting up, was making calls, getting sponsorship dollars, it just takes a lot.
That's a lot,
It really is.
Because we're getting ready. I'm trying to get sponsors for Real Talk. We're trying to do that and getting out there, and it's different in funerals, but now, I want to grow this, because it's very positive, I think, because it's about real people, real talk, to have a understanding that if they made it, I can make it. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. So that's my goal. If we could start getting sponsors and doing what I do, I plan to really, really grow this because God has been good.
I think you will grow it.
I really do. And people love the interviewing. And, it's not about me, it's about interviewing people and letting them know, I talk, and you see me at the funeral home anytime, Jerry, come say hi. And I be saying, come see, girl, I ain't coming in that funeral home to see you.
But what a platform you've been given, though. And it so fits you and your person. Not everybody could do what you do. I couldn't do what you do because this interview would have been over after 5 minutes if it was me. But you have a gift for this, and you make people comfortable. Like, not everybody's going to get me to sit down with them because this isn't my comfort zone. But you are able to get people to talk and open up. And so, keep using your gift. God's going to continue to bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Now, you're always doing something. She's always investing and growing and thinking of things. You have a new project. That's why I wanted you on. I wanted it to happen because, number one, you work so hard. And now that I do have the platform, I'm having different guests to talk about things. That's what I want to do, to put it out there, because we have Amazon and different things where people can now follow. Tell about the new project that you're doing and what this is about and how does this work, and tell when it's going to be. I want you to promote that. Then we'll go a little bit further.
Okay. Well, it's not really new. The Success Summit in Expo is coming up. So it's really the Blackout Experience is what we're calling this.
What does that mean?
So the Blackout Experience is we're trying to bring community together for 4 days.
Okay.
It starts with our golf tournament on June 10th. We have our Success Summit and Expo, and this is our 21st year doing this. So this baby is grown now.
Okay.
And then we have our Colorado Black Heritage Tour that we're going to take Dr. Boyce Watkins on and a select group of people. And then,
How do you go about that? Getting into that for the select.
for the select group, so it's going to be mainly our some of our speakers, some of our sponsors, him, and then some others that he needs to know, because there's a method to my madness this
Okay.
year. I had said last year, I'm not doing 4 days again. You're not going to drag me into it. And here I am again doing it 4 days. Where he does a all Black national convention every year in a different city.
Okay.
So I am trying to impress upon him to bring it to Denver for 2027.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm trying to show him around, show him that we have, cultured Black folks here. We have educated Black folks here. We're doing things in Denver. And so I want him to bring that conference here next year. And
What's his name?
Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Boyce
Okay.
Watkins. And
Okay.
so he's going to be here for all 4 days. Well, not the fourth day, not for we're bringing back our part 2 of the back in the day party,
Okay.
which
Okay.
was so much fun. But he's going to be here for 3 whole days playing golf with us. He's going to be at the Success Summit. We're going to do a fireside chat with him. And we have a young, I think she's 14. She's a business owner, Sugar Water. And she's going to be co-interviewing him with Justin Adams from CBS 4. So it's going to be a really interesting luncheon.
Now, Sugar Water, is that her, what they call her? That's her company
her
that she
beverage
has?
company.
Oh, what is that? What's Sugar Water?
Sugar Water is a whole beverage company that's owned and operated by, maybe not operated, but the founder is a 14-year-old young lady who's going to be at the summit.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to be there. We have a whole youth track of the summit where we kick off our youth financial literacy program at the summit every year. So this new cohort will start in June.
Okay.
So every year, and they start from 8th grade, and we take these kids all the way through high school graduation. Teaching
See, that's what I'm talking
literacy,
about.
yeah, career planning, because some of our kids aren't going to go to college. Some of them aren't meant to, but we need to offer them alternatives to that they can still earn a great living without going to college. A lot of kids aren't going to college now. They don't see the value in it with the student loan debt that they're
I know.
So,
now, with Sugar Mama, is she up
Sugar
there?
Water.
Sugar Water. I'm telling who? Y'all,
Sugar
I'll
Mama.
be shaming myself. Sugar Mama, y'all take that back. You heard it. It was wrong. It's talking about Sugar Mama. Sugar Water. Okay. That's cute.
Yeah.
Has she made money from that? Is she doing really
I
well?
haven't delved into her finances, but she seems to do really well. I need to she should be one who is interviewed, actually. She's
Oh, I would love to have her.
Yeah.
If she's here, because my team, we work. I want to create, and I even want to get people from out of town. I got like I have a comedian, AD. I said, when you come, call me, because this is the opportunity for let people see they watching us from all over. Let them see we doing things here too.
Exactly.
And it's not all negative, and now we getting so much killing and everything, but people hear about that. But I don't want to talk about killing. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about how you can have a success. I want to talk about how no, if she could do it, I've watched her, and now I'm ready. I can do it. That's what I want.
Well, and what I want is for us to be more collaborative and more supportive of each other, right? Like you've heard me talk about the people who supported me and how they supported me.
Yes.
They made those introductions for me. They made a way for me, right? They didn't just say, "Oh, I got your back," and not put any action behind it. They truly had my back and put their reputations on the line for me. And so that really does help me to be better, right? Like that, and make me want to give back to the next person or the next generation of people. That's why financial literacy is so important, because we can make all the money we want to in the world. It's what you keep and what you can invest.
That's true.
At the end of the day, what are you going to end up with? And so, I didn't learn a lot about financial literacy growing up. My mom taught me, hey, your credit is sacred. Don't go get all those credit cards. You know how they offered you credit cards in college, right?
Yes.
On the campus, they had them all, and so she's like, don't do it. Please don't do it. Did it anyway. but it wasn't because I wasn't told, but I wasn't told why I
Exactly.
should do it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so that's what we're teaching these kids, some not just basic financial literacy, but investing in about mortgages, what you're signing up for when you sign up for a mortgage, all different kinds of things. So they won't make the same mistakes or missteps that we did
Hmm.
out of ignorance. So they may make them, but it won't be out of ignorance. They'll know.
Hmm. Do you find a lot of more young people are wanting to come to your events?
Yes, the ones who know about it want to come.
Hmm.
And a lot of them age out of the event, right? Because we try to take them from 13 to 16.
Hmm.
That's the age group that we'll take for the
Hmm.
summit or for the it's called Empowering Youth Economics,
Okay.
the
Okay.
iPro. So
Man.
yeah,
Now tell more about, because I don't golf, but I told her I was gonna come and support. She
me
said they
either.
got a little putt. You could do
You can play
something like
miniature
that.
golf, but we're also having a spades tournament during that time. So if you don't golf and you don't want to putt be out there in the heat, then you come on in and play some spades. We're gonna do a little 50-50 prize for that, cash prize for the winner. And
Hmm.
so it's gonna be fun.
Now, is this free? Is there a charge? Because I want to put it out there so people
Yeah.
can get ready. Kind of tell a little bit about like the charge and the different places and where it's going to be.
Right.
Is each day different, or it's all the same places you go but different spaces?
No, so okay, the golf tournament is at Kennedy Golf Course.
Okay, that's over there on Hamden and Havana. You go Havana, run you over there to
Hampton and like Dartmouth or something like that
exactly.
over in
Okay.
there. And then the next day will be at the hotel at the Hyatt Regency Aurora Denver Conference Center,
Okay.
right across from Children's on Colfax,
Okay. Yes.
right across the street. Free parking. The expo is free for people to come to that. Um, Lunch is the only thing that we are insisting on people pay for because that's a hard cost to us.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's very reasonable and it's very much worth it to come and network with the people that you may not have an opportunity to rub elbows with any other
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I encourage everybody at least come to the expo and support the vendors who will be there.
Yes. Yes.
Get your oils, get you know how we do.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have a lot. You're planning for a lot of different walks of life vendors, different things.
Yeah, there'll be different
Okay,
vendors, and then
good.
our corporate vendors will be there too, sharing information about, what they do and how they can support the community. So it's going to be really cool. We're going to have a session on AI that I'm thinking about opening up and making that free for people to attend because we have a fear of AI. You
Mhm.
know, it's something we don't realize we've been using AI for a long time.
I know that's what I
But,
said.
there's this stigma attached to it, and of course, there are some dangers with AI, but we're having a professor, from CCA come talk about, the myths of AI and the truths about it, so and then we're gonna have another person talking about, growing your wealth with AI, growing your business with it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why you're on another level.
Mhm.
Being a black woman, you just not just how can I say? You're just your creativity of what you do and educating and bringing forth people things that people did not even know. You know, AI, I watch it sometime and then they got the stuff I go, they be having little creatures and stuff. Where this stuff coming from? Then they got the little dolls, they got the babies dancing and singing and all that. And I love it. I mean, it's AI, but I love watching that stuff. And
Yeah.
they got the little babies singing church with their dress hats on and stuff. So it would be interesting to know more about AI. I like to
Mhm,
know how sometimes they do that.
mhm.
But our world is changing, period.
It is.
We're in a different place. We're in it's almost fearful, and I try to constantly encourage when I'm talking on the radio and different things, just stay focused. You got to trust in God.
Mm,
If you trust in God, God said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. Some of the people that don't know God, we don't know what's coming. But
right.
when you know God and you know that you have did right,
Yeah.
God has you. And
Well, but
so
sometimes, I mean, people are so slick now, though, and there have been a lot of us who, our older people have been scammed.
they have
So
bad.
we need to really educate our elderly about these scams and what they look
Right,
like.
yep.
So that's what we're talking about doing at my church, is really trying to put together something where we can educate them on what to look for in a scam, because you open an email and you don't know who you're opening. You click a button and you've launched some spyware or whatever.
I know.
And
What
so
church
it's
did you
really
go to?
scary. Rising Star Missionary
Okay, who's your
Baptist Church.
pastor?
My pastor is the Reverend Reginald Maurice.
Oh, Reggie,
Taylor.
she telling it all
Tell
today,
it all.
child. Yeah. But yeah, and you're a very dedicated member. But
Oh, yeah.
that is so true. I mean, and they got this thing I want to say too. They have something where they'll call and say, uh, you have 20 minutes to get home. They're getting ready to turn off your electricity. If you don't pay, go get a money order and pay $200. And they tell that all the time, but you and I tell older people, don't listen. Half time, don't even open the door. If you don't know these people, they're attacking older people because you all, I got a person now, she's trying to hold on. She's thinking, I could do this, but you can't. You know, you have to, I know in our minds, some of us are independent and I can do this, I can do this. That's why if you have loved ones and they're elderly, we need to check on our elderly people because they're getting dogged, losing their houses, taking all their money out of their account, and there's nothing, and sometimes there's shame because they've been scammed and they won't say anything.
They won't.
You know, and so it's really tough and it's sad because we're in a bad place now in the world, but we need to just ask for cover. And I pray all the time when I'm on the radio, whatever. God, I pray for the seen and the unseen because you don't always know what's coming. So God, touch us, carry us, carry us.
Blood.
It, honey, in your what you do, are there any, if you look back, is there anything you would say, if I could do over, I would? I would do it differently. Maybe thinking better, or maybe I shouldn't have did this. When you go back in your mind, what could I have done better? What should I have? I want to make it better, but when I look back, what could I do? Do you have any regret?
No, I really don't. I think anything good or bad, I think it's a lesson in everything. And so I know that all things work together for my good. So even if it's bad, there's something in that for me to learn. And, sometimes I know, okay, I won't do that again. It might have hurt going through it. But, no, I have no regrets really. And I live by that because I always tell my nieces, like, you don't want to have regrets about how you treated someone,
Come on.
especially your loved ones. We can go down a deep hole with regret, right? Anything I've done, and not all of it has been perfect, but I can't live with regrets.
Come on. That's
I
what I'm
can't
talking
live with
about.
regrets. How do I go forward from that? And what lesson did I learn is what I always take from every experience, good or bad.
That's good. When COVID was going on, everything had to shut down for 2 years. You were used to every year preparing. Black book pages. You just always had something going on.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
It was hard because, well, actually, you know what? The summit wasn't that hard because I had already said 2018 was the last summit in my mind that I was going to do. I said during the luncheon that this could be the last summit that we do. If we do it, if we come back, it's going to look different. Otherwise, we're not going to do it again. And so I thought, okay, take a hiatus for 2019. 2020, here comes COVID. And so I was already in the mindset of a reset, and that gave me an opportunity to really sit back and reflect on what I wanted to do next, whether it be that, take a job somewhere, or, just chill for another year. So it really gave me an opportunity to be reflective and really think about how to come back and do this thing that I was doing better and be more impactful. So yeah, it was hard just watching people die.
Believe me, I know.
And get sick. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine you being in the funeral business, how that was. And then people weren't coming to funerals. They weren't allowed to be, to mourn their loved ones and celebrate them the way they do now, with the way we used to. I don't even know if it's really back to normal, right?
No, it's, I remember I went on Facebook because I've been on Facebook for a long time. And it was so emotional. I mean, I had thousands of views because I said we as a film director, there was a whole lot of film directors died from around the country because they didn't understand the spreading of the disease and people going to embalm bodies and things were getting on them and they were dying. Some a church that got crowded, a lot of the bishops and people in the church, they were, oh, I know God has me and I'm not going to, I'm all right. But in the midst, a whole lot of people were dying. People did not understand. And one day I got on and I was talking about last responders. You know, you have the first responders. They get to the scenes and they checking and doing what they do, and we're hearing all the different things. But last responder, funeral director, and get to the hospital, the different things, and people didn't understand. And I remember breaking because everyone thought this is not true. It's not. One of my good friends died. He didn't believe that COVID was real, and I miss him to this day. But a lot of people, it taught me a lot. And I got on and I pleaded with the people, don't play. And I'm one of those that you have faith, but you have to have common faith. You know, back in the Bible, okay, you had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They was in the furnace. They didn't get burned, but they seen the figure, and that figure was Jesus. Okay. Well, I can't say that it can't happen now, but go in the fire. Go in the fire now. You gonna go in there, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in, and I know I'm gonna see Shadrach and a Meshach. You will get burnt up like a cookie.
Well, first of all, they were thrown in. They didn't just walk.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, go break it down. But I mean, people, you know, when you go out here, I'm gonna go in front of this car. I'm gonna test it. You'll be flat like a pancake. And so I know there's fine to have faith, but then you have to have common sense faith. And so a lot of people with doing COVID, they didn't have common sense faith. They didn't believe it. And a whole lot of people died, and I was so heartbroken. I remember they called us and asked us on the property. We were in the old Pipkin building back then, and what kind of land did we have to put freezers on the property to hold the bodies of people that were dying. So if we don't stop, we're going to be in that same place again. I never got rid of my mask, child. I had some cute ones. I ain't throw them things away, child, because I said, you don't know, honey. Girl,
You're going to need a real mask.
Honey, pretty
Those
soon.
what, K9s? Or
pretty soon. I mean, you know, so it's a lot. And I thank God for the growth. And as I watch you, we're about ready to wind down, but I want to ask you if you will leave some encouraging words. I always do this to my guests. From your experience, if you could tell the young people, there may be someone that's listening to you tonight. There may be some young people, because you're dealing with young people, that are inspired by you and want to get into what you have done and what you're doing. What would you tell young people, because they're going to take over from us? What would you give a word to the young people to how to help them, their dream? How would you tell them how to get involved, the ups and downs, to encourage them that you can make it? Because you started from a girl out of Dayton, Ohio. And look where you are now. And what a blessing.
With buck teeth.
I know. That's all right, girl. You pretty now. Don't worry about it. You was pretty then. I seen them pictures, child. We all had crazy teeth. Some of them, girl, I had teeth. Them people at school, it looked like you playing dice. You just throw them in their mouth. They be all over the place. Oh, they got braces and everything now, but we was all ugly ducklings before we got cute, child, please. So what would you say to young people about looking at being into the marketing and blackbook.com and the different things? What would you tell someone that's looking into going into your field and how you could help them with encouraging words?
Well, I would say look for the people, look for your tribe. Look for the ones who you know are going to support you. And be a supporter to someone else, too. It's reciprocal. You can't always take and not expect to give back in some way. So find your tribe. And sometimes that's not the ones you think are your, like your girl. Look for somebody who's going to help you advance. And they may not be your age. Like none of those guys were my age. But they saw something that be serious about what you want to do. Quit playing around with it. Know, if you know what you want to do, go for it. And find those people who are going to support that. And they will support if they know that you're all about your business.
Mm-hmm.
They won't support if you're playing around doing this. You're doing one thing one week, the next week you're into something else. And so, that happens when you're trying to find yourself. But once you find it, get serious and buckle down, and people will gravitate toward you. Sometimes you don't even have to look for them. God will send them your way.
Mm-hmm.
So be encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Be encouraged and have no regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do things and we mess up. That doesn't mean you regret that. Learn from it. Learn and keep going.
That's good advice.
Mhm.
I do want to ask you though, when you started blackbook.com, was it hard? Did you have to get grants or loans to start from nothing to where you are?
Well, like I said, I had a job, so I was able to self-fund most of it, right? Then I started getting advertisers, and like I said, there were people at these companies, and that's what we need to do for each other.
Mm-hmm.
People at these corporations and companies, Black folks, we should be supporting each other when we see somebody that's legit, right? Stop being the gatekeeper for a company that has billions of dollars. Stop doing that. Figure out a way to support this person. Everybody else is doing that except us. Like some of these positions, once they become Hispanic, they're Hispanic indefinitely.
That's true. Well, that's true.
They make sure their successor looks like them. And we're the only ones who don't do that. And so that's what we need to start doing as a
Why do you
people.
think that from your experience?
Well, we don't want to appear to be, to be support, like pro-Black, right? There's something about that with people that scares other people. And so we're the only ones that are not obvious about it, right? Whereas everybody else, if it's an Asian person, they're looking for an Asian person to bring behind them.
That's true.
If it's Hispanic, they're looking for a Hispanic to bring behind them. Whereas we necessarily don't do it. And I don't understand why not. And maybe that's because, the powers that be see that as, well, you just, you're not being diverse enough. You're not looking at other groups, but they don't say that with anybody else. So I really don't understand it. And we do need champions in corporations that say, hey, this is what I'm about. This is what we're going to do. You may not be able to be so covert about it as everybody else, but be on that mission to support Black.
Okay. Well, I thank you. We're going to end. This has been wonderful. I think you've encouraged, and you tell your story. And even when we just started, it's not always easy. Sometimes you got to, like I say, you got to crawl before you can walk. And even that walking, sometimes you get crippled.
Or sometimes you get knocked back down to the ground.
Come on. We fall down, but we get up.
We get up.
For a saint is just a sinner who fell down. And when you have God, God will not give you provision without, He will not give you a vision without provision.
Amen.
And when you know God and when you trust in Him and when you have faith, there's so many times I look back, if I had not had faith of a mustard seed, I could not have made it. So I thank God. I thank God for what He has done. I thank God for having you on today. And I'm planning to do putt-putt or something. I'm not a golfer.
You're not a spades player?
Girl, no.
Oh, Lord.
I
I'm
used
about
to.
to pull your card.
Yeah, but I'm looking for it. And I go to things. I always try to support everybody. I just don't want to be known as a funeral director. I want to be known as a woman that'll go speak, a woman that'll be at your program, just to be there, just to say, I was there.
But you're not that person that's just only known as a funeral director.
Oh,
You already know that.
I know, but I just, you see me, they say, ooh, there. Oh, no. I see people, and it's not funny, but it is kind of, I used to watch Mark, working with Mark, and sometimes we go to the store and they would see Mark, and they would get teary-eyed because they remember Mark being there for their mother or their father. And he's going to come on my show, too. That's going to be comical, watching us two together. But when you look and you look back, there's so many things that you think about. And when the faith, I was looking at something, I used to have a Suzuki Samurai. Me and my girlfriends, we go party. Back when we was coming, they had about 25 clubs here. Oh, we had a top down jam. We just jamming. And I be the one to pick up, 'cause you know, they didn't have wigs, girl. We had our little, you had long hair, little sprinkle hair, with the top off. It was gonna blow it, girl. We was cute, huh? But when I thought about, I thought about it the other night. I said, coming home when I dropped everybody off, I'm jamming. I done had a party. Anybody could have jumped in that Samurai, that Suzuki with the top down. But I know a God that has protected us. I know a God, when you look back over your life, you have a testimony. So if we just keep trusting, and now these young people, and I do want to say this, I know why God has me. So many of these young women are getting snatched up and killed and everything like this. There's two things I want to say, and then we're going to let go. I want, and I'm going to say this on Facebook, young people, if you're in a volatile situation, this is so sad. This happened in Florida. Young lady had been with this man, and I guess he'd whip her and do what he was doing. And this one particular day, about a month ago, if that, he was whipping her. She called her brothers. They came. The emotions are running. You got to be careful on emotions because you'll get caught up. They coming to help. When they got there, the man, wait, let me back up. They were born 5 years apart, the exact same day. She called her brothers to say that the man was doing this. They get there. He goes out to the car, gets his gun. He kills both the brothers. And she's running. So I want to say publicly, if you're in a situation and you know it's volatile, the best thing, call the police. Because I can tell you, now I've buried a whole lot of situations. 99.5% when your family members coming, because they probably already been afraid anyway, and they know you don't put your hands on them and you're calling them, somebody's going to get hurt or somebody's going to die. And then in the midst of it, you done pulled the trigger. You mad, not thinking, I'm going to jail. I came over here, this man, I've had that. Right. Kill them, and then now you gone to jail or whatever. So that's number one. I want these young women, if you're in a volatile situation, you need to get out, but don't involve your family. Right. So both her brothers are gone now. Right. And so we just need to hold on to what we know. And I'm going to I need some women. I'm going to go in that other room. They got a big room. I need some women to come and talk about their experiences so people can learn. That's what I'm about. People need to know, even with this podcast, as I say, real talk, let's be real. Right. Realness, as my pastor says too. So our ministry is sometimes just showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just showing up.
You mentioned domestic violence. That's what that's called.
Yes, we want to just be. You've experienced that. Tell that right quick before we get off.
Firsthand, my younger sister was murdered by her boyfriend.
How old was she?
She was 22. She had 3 babies, 4, 2, and 6 months. And he killed her right in front of that middle child. And so, and now I could spot, like, we should have known. We should have been able to pick up on that. But you never think somebody's going to go that far, right? She had broken it off with them. And he breaks into the house, kills her, and with babies, and he kills himself. So at least we don't have to live with him being alive, and because he will probably be out by now. But what that does to the family, and I'm sure she didn't know, because she was one of those, I could just hear, you ain't gonna do nothing. She was probably like a Lequita, like, you better get tough at the wrong time instead of.
But even sometime now, you know when to be quiet.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know that she was a tough cookie. Yeah. She didn't start a lot.
I know
she so ended
pretty,
it.
huh?
She was beautiful, and her children. Oh my gosh, you should see her girls, gorgeous. But we have to be really careful and watchful. He would barricade himself with this baby. Like, she would be gone. He barricaded himself with the baby for days. That's not normal for you not to have any interaction with other people besides this baby. And so she was finally leaving him, and that's when it happened. And that happens a lot. It happens too often. And she didn't know. She didn't see it coming. She didn't see it coming.
And that still bothers you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, be so.
And their kids are still impacted by it. They were so young, but they still remember some things that they don't remember her like I would love them to, but they remember what happened.
Yeah. So young ladies, men are getting beat up too.
Man.
These women is whipping these men. You hear me? They paying them back for everything that they thought happened years ago. Whipping them with belts. Girl, I hear it all. When they come up in that mortuary, you be surprised. They whipping the men now. And then the women, bless their heart, but it's another level. Girl, no, but it's another level, baby. They whipping the men now. Oh, yeah, you used to do everything. And these men learn to shut up, too. Oh, you so-and-so. They are. I am. I'm who? So I said, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm not an abuser, but I know I hear all the stories.
I'm not an abuser.
I'm not. I'm lovable, but there's another side. And that's another thing. I'm going to say this. Be careful. You may look at somebody, you don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know if they have a mental case. Someone be cute as they can be, you think.
Crazy as the...
Oh, go to dinner. You ain't going to eat all I paid for you. Oh, you wait. See, all that old foolish. I hear it all. I can have a show, everybody be just dying, not wanting to die. But I can tell you some story, you be like, my God, really?
Yeah.
So
it's a whole different world.
It is. So y'all ladies, do what you do so you can get the news that Carla said when you want to grow, you want to be positive, you want to get your own, you can do it. But you got to be out of a negative, disrupted, dysfunctional situation. And if you don't stop it in the beginning, if you don't say, and I'm going to say this, I said it before, if it goes on and you saying, okay, all right, where women mess up, men too. You done clown and everything. And my grandma used to say, when you know your hand is in the lion's mouth, you got to squeeze, you got to hear kitty, kitty. Right now. Y'all know, Miss Shot, I'm getting telling now.
That's real talk.
It is real talk. So you got somebody you done went on and you done took some abuse and they saying, and you trying to say, oh, I'm tired of you. But then you want to leave, but then you don't have nowhere to go.
That's true.
And you said, Lord, I'm going to still be here and get my tail whipped, and I can't sleep. But what do I do? But when you have motivation, when you hear stories like Carla, when you hear stories of people that are making it, you can make it. But don't wait until they done beat you a year and now all of a sudden you done, you know what, I'm leaving you. I'm taking the kid up. Bingo, wrong answer. You'll be behind a bush somewhere.
About it.
I'm telling you, you have to think. So when you know that's going on and it's crazy, ease your hand out. Here, kitty. Because he don't know you plotting it. Here, kitty, kitty. You being gentle. Not here, kitty, kitty. Your old head, God, you can't even cook no more in your head. You don't let that man tell you. You don't let that man rip your hand off now. So think about what you're doing. Think about even when you're on your job. Think about, I'm mad, I can't stand the manager. And then you quit. What now? What? So be sensible. Be motivated. Me, Carla.
Quit jobs like it.
Listen, Carla ain't got what she got too for nothing. And I have shown I got where I am for nothing. So you young ladies, men, and don't let the woman be slapping you upside your head. It's sad. Y'all think I'm lying. I have seen it. I hear it.
It's just the way you said it.
Girl, it's a shame. Girl, it's a shame. You let somebody you let some old woman, my son, he 46 years. You let some woman hit him upside his head. He the kind of Negro, excuse me. He was saying, I ain't gonna tell my mama, because my mama a fool. You better tell me, because I'll stop all that. So y'all, you got, and then I'm telling them, don't run over there. You be the guy killed. I don't know, it's my only child. I'll be right at the door, open this door, you help her. But I'm back, Paul, I'm back. But God is good. So we gonna end on that.
Say, open the door, you bald head help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bald head. And then you sit there, you try to hold on. Oh, then they talk about you. Oh, you ain't got no eyelashes. Don't worry about it, I ain't got no eyelashes. Oh, you wearing wigs. So what? They look cute. If you ain't got no hair, oh well, thank you, Jesus, I'm alive. So we need to learn this. I ain't never had no man hit me. And not to say that I'm that, but I was the only girl, five. It was five boys, six girls, and I thank God my grandmother taught me. My dad, I didn't, and I'm not a bully. No, I'm not. But when you cross
Well, if
me,
you had to say that, Lequita.
I'm not a bully. I help, but I get you. I ain't playing. I went through too much, and especially I went through that persecution. I went through for 4 months. It taught me a lot. Because it was on. And it was one time that they said something, and it was the Pandora box had just been opened.
Yeah.
It was getting ready to be on. But some women, I know some women who touched by the anointed. They seen my face. They had said the most vicious things spreading, and they seen the look when I came into the funeral home, and they prayed over me. Don't tell me about the hands of God. They prayed over me, and when they prayed, I just bowed down and I let it go. And some of those ones that were dogging me, their lives have changed. Not so much for the better. So I said, when you have faith, when you do people right, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. And then you're going to have as they say, no weapons. Weapons are coming. I used to, and I'm going to say this, we're winding down. Weapons are coming when it says no weapons formed against me. Weapons are coming. You have haters. People lie on you, darts thrown at you. Some of them get embedded in your body. Some things you're going through and you're trying to do all you can. No weapons formed against me shall prosper. They may sting you, they may cut you. They can't prosper when you know God. So you all stay encouraged, hold on. And for all those, Carla, I thank you. You've encouraged someone. Now you got one of them bougie jobs. Oh, you works hard, baby, but oh yeah, baby. Oh, you be having those special guests, honey. You be having don't play. Carla's very humble. She doesn't like to be. She'll be in the front if she has to, but she's just a different kind. I'm humble too until I want to be. Until I want to go there. But you all, I'm gonna end it. I'm just so happy to be back, y'all. You just don't know. That's why I'm so silly tonight. Ashley's probably gonna edit a lot. Not too much, Ashley. I meant what I said. Okay. Well, you all stay tuned. We're back. What? And you know what? I'm tripping. Why does it look like a spider? Is that this thing here? No, it's something on the microphone. I'm getting ready, because in a minute I'm a holler. Y'all gonna see the real me. It looks like a spider. Now, I ain't tweaking. I ain't had no drugs. I ain't had nothing. This spider is going around here, and I'm tripping now.
I saw it.
What is it? What is it? That is spider. Oh, is it a spider? Oh, girl, move. Now it's out. Bye, y'all. Love you. Thank you for being with Lequita Taylor. Real move you out the way. I'm telling you. Yeah, spiders. I'm scared of spiders.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
I knew I wasn't tripping. He kept heading in circles. Okay. Thank you for coming. My third season. You know it's going to be a trip if it started like this. Thank you for being with Lequita Taylor. Real Talk with Lequita Taylor. Thank you, Carla. I love you. Stop laughing now, because I ain't lying. I'll tear this whole room up. Good night, you all. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.